Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro, and today we're looking at verse 3 in Psalm 131. I hope that you'll join me. If you have your Bible, open it up and check out Psalm 131. This is the 12th step of the ascent. We are making our way to the city of Jerusalem, and we are talking about humility this week. Something I forgot to mention, and I want to say this before I forget it again. Yesterday and Wednesday, we had this idea of weaning. He gives us this beautiful similitude of weaning. I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul is even as a weaned child. Okay, that's verse 2. And I forgot to mention yesterday how that connects with verse 1. Because in verse 1 he says, "Neither do I exercise myself in great matters or in things too high for me." You see, when we are prideful, we think we know everything and we can handle everything and that we can figure everything out. But there's just a fact, friend, that we can't. Because we don't know everything and we can't handle everything. And the child who is on the mother's breast, and the mother begins the process of weaning the child from the mother's breast, that child doesn't understand why that has to happen. So it's a matter that's great to him or her. It's too high for him or her. All he or she knows is, I need to feed on milk. That's all they know, because that's all they've ever known. That's the comfort level for them. But the mother knows something different. She has information that is greater than the child's. And so if the child were to try to figure it out and do it on his or her own, they would fail. And so when he says, "My soul is as a weaned child," that means that he can't figure out these great matters are too much and too high. And so the child doesn't understand that. The mother does. And so when he trusts the mother, he's trusting her to figure out the great matter, the thing that's too high, because he can't achieve that kind of knowledge. And then we come to verse 3, and he says, "Let Israel hope in the Lord." Why should we hope in the Lord? Here's his call to action. Let Israel hope in the Lord from henceforth and forevermore. Why is hope such an important piece to this whole thing? Because hoping in the Lord is a part of the weaning attitude. We hope in what's to come. We hope in the better thing. We hope in the growth. We hope in the new level of growth that the Lord has for us. We hope in the great matters that are too high for us. And that we allow the Lord to handle all of that. So I'm hoping for a future that's going to be better. And he says, look, this has happened to me, and now I'm calling on Israel, hope in the Lord. And then he gives this beautiful little piece at the end here, from now and forever. Or as the King James says, from henceforth and forevermore. From the time when the weaning begins, I'm comforting myself, I'm behaving myself, I'm quieting myself, and from this point on, for the remainder of eternity, I'm going to hope in the Lord because he's in control. I'm not. See, let's go back to verse 1 again. My heart is not haughty, nor my eyes lofty. If you're prideful and you think you got it all figured out, then why do you need to hope in the Lord? You've got it all figured out. But when you are comforting yourself in the Lord's trust, and when you're comforting yourself in the Lord's love, and when you're comforting yourself in the Lord's ability to care for you, then there's so much hope that it starts now, at the moment you realize that, and it goes for an eternity. He provides for us forever. Let Israel hope in the Lord from henceforth and forever. This call to action he gives to the people that he was writing to in his day, David does. And ladies and gentlemen, I would say this call to action is for us as well. Hope in the Lord from now until forever. I hope you'll join me again next week. We'll look at Psalm 132 as we continue in the Ascent Psalms here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.